Hello. Hello. And welcome into another episode of Farm to Fame. I am Kelsey Wingert. That is Peter Moylan. That is Maddie Mass. And for the fourth time in the past few months, none of us matter. None of us matter.
Tell me where you're going with that. I was trying to work out what we've done 4 times. What have we done 4 times?
I think it's been 4 times that none of us have mattered. Now we welcome Braves Ashland.
Hi, guys.
Hey, Ashland. We were roomies for the All-Star trip.
The what? Sorry?
Yeah.
Well, we have Ashland on here today because she really keeps up with college baseball. This girl has like 27 different podcasts. The one you probably know if you're listening to this podcast is Mansplain Baseball Elsewhere. She does so much stuff for JOMBOY Media and just in sports, but college baseball is one of her focuses. And if you're listening to this right now, college baseball has started today. Like it starts Wednesday or Thursday?
Starts Thursday. So
we're getting you ready.
Yeah, day before. You're being ready.
So I saw you tweeted out the price of tickets for games coming up. That's insane. They're cheap.
It's so cheap. And that got some legs, got some attention. I've got a lot of people sending me like, oh, this school costs $3. There's tons and tons and tons of baseball programs that are free. Like just come watch their game. They don't care. They're not going to charge you. Jeez. The most expensive ticket I found was Stanford, and it was like $15.
Wow, California. Right?
Yeah, exactly. It's incredibly cheap. I'm going down to Birmingham Southern this weekend, and they're D3 school, but they're ranked, like they're pretty good, and their tickets are $6, and kids under 13 are free.
Should we get into this now, or because I'm going to ask a lot of questions about college and D3 and all the rest of it? We want to get into this now, or should I save my question for later?
Well, let's save your question, but write it down so you don't forget it, because that's the worst.
I'm writing it down. It is the worst.
Yeah,
okay.
Truly is. We just want to chat some ball with you. I'm excited to get into some names you want us to look out for and talk about some guys who are probably going to see in the draft next year. That's something that we'll probably do more of this upcoming season on our podcast is keep you up to date with more so with the draft leading up to it. We have so many good high school players in Georgia. It's like unbelievable. That's why I'm out to a baseball shirt because high school baseball starts this week, baby. First games on Friday.
High school too. Wow.
Go Bucks. Yeah.
Baseball is here. It's here.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so people can get their fix, right? People can get their
absolutely
fix, but that's only going to suffice people for so long. No offense to everybody, but we need to get this other thing sorted out quickly.
Nobody needs Major League Baseball to come back anymore because we have the warehouse games. And game 1 that came out was phenomenal. And oh my gosh, first of all, the editing team, this looks like an actual regional broadcast. Like it is an 8-camera shoot. I had an IFB as the sideline reporter, which is an earpiece so I can communicate with Chris Rose and Joe's up in the booth. Chris Rose and Joe's. It was like there were press conferences. I mean, we had umpires. This was a serious event, and the production awesome. Looks like an actual broadcast. And it's the games were so good. Like it was actually a really good tournament, and they were playing for $10,000, which was a surprise.
I know I wasn't there, and I have the worst case of FOMO in the history of mankind, but I watched last night. Jimmy got so mad so early in that game. I was like, he is so competitive when it comes to this thing. I was loving every second of that. It was hilarious.
Oh, you just wait. But we have a lot to talk about today, guys. First of all, Maddie, hello.
Hey.
How are you?
That's the first time we've spoken again. Yeah, maybe. Hey.
That's okay. I'm good.
We do that, man. I'm sorry.
Great. Hey, you got one of my signs. What's yours say? Back over your shoulder. This should be good.
We had a friend come over around Christmas and changed it. So it says, Jingle My Bells Season. Season spelled SZN.
That's something Jake would have hanging in his condo, I think.
Yeah. So
awesome. I'm sorry I asked.
That's okay.
Okay. First of all, some news came out this week that Major League Baseball proposed to cut minor league players from, what is it, 180 to 150. This is after they eliminated how many teams last
40.
season?
Mhm.
40. And then now they're asking
40.
for each organization to essentially eliminate 13 playing jobs. Peter, I know you've been pretty vocal about this. Talk, go.
I just hate it. I hate every bit of it. I really do. I just don't understand what they're trying to do. It doesn't help anybody up. We're trying to build the game, and by eliminating teams, I guess maybe they build the quality of the games, but I just don't understand the reasoning behind it. I never have, and I need someone who's smarter than me to explain the benefits of it to me.
So I wonder if they're trying to cut all of the rosters down to 26-man rosters, like there are in Major League Baseball.
But what's the why? What's the reason why?
I mean,
No
I
one's
would
been able to tell me
assume-
what they
Yeah,
present. Like
I have
normally
yet
they
to
give a
see it.
reason.
I would
Yeah.
assume that they're going to say that they can pay guys more if there's fewer guys to pay.
They can pay guys more anyway.
Well,
This is
duh,
the
we know
point.
that.
Yeah, everybody, they think that no one thinks that. You know, I don't understand how they don't look at what the general public thinks, and they just think that we're just going to overlook this, and it's just strange.
Well, Maddie retweeted Joe DeMayo, who has a Mets podcast, and he works with SNY covering the Mets. But
Yeah.
he tweeted, every organization removed 2 or 3 minor league teams prior to the 2021 season. So 2 to 3 minor league full teams,
Mhm.
every organization. The MLB draft was shortened from 40 rounds to 20 rounds eliminated. And now MLB wants to have the right to remove another 30 minor league players per organization. That equates to 900 players. And he said the worst way to grow the game is to get less people in.
That's exactly my point. That's exactly my point. Like it's de-incentivizing. Is that a word?
Yeah.
It is now.
It is now. The incentive for people to strive to be a baseball player, like even just to sign a professional contract, is a big deal for a baseball player. And so
Right.
you've given a lot of people an opportunity to fulfill a dream. Some guys make it, some guys don't, but at least they've been given an opportunity, and they, you know, now you're going to give even less people that opportunity. And then you're not going to find some diamonds in the rough that come through, like every team has, that a 50th round draft pick that all of a sudden gets to rookie ball and figures it out, starts raking or starts throwing 100 and shoots up to the big leagues. And you never have those guys if you shorten the draft. You never have those guys if you don't have these teams. It's like they're shortening the pool of which they're going to be able to select from. I don't get it.
Yeah, it's already like 0.5% of high school baseball players make it to play professional baseball or make it to the major league level. So that's half of 1%. And you're just dwindling that number down even more.
And that's where I think that, you know, scouting's still so important, because the people that are really still into it, they still travel to games. They still go to every single game. They try to see as many games as they possibly can. You know, they never get sick of watching baseball games, and they don't have guys fall through the cracks, because there's not just the guys that can afford to go to the travel balls. And like, that's the other thing that's crazy in this country, is the amount of, like, I was at a high school the other day, and these kids play high school, but they also play travel ball. So they're getting so many different voices in their heads. It's like, how do these kids even compute it all and then still function to be able to play baseball? It's just, there's so much baseball.
The travel ball world's insane. My daughter's 7, and most of her counterparts in softball are playing year-round softball already.
It's ridiculous.
And baseball, you know, the same, if not crazier.
Yeah.
It's an insane world.
And here's the thing, right? Here's the crazy thing. I would normally say, oh, well, there's more than one way to get to the big leagues. Look around, you know, there's been plenty of ways to get there. But I don't know if you don't play travel ball, if you're going to get the amount of games that you're going to need to be able to compete with the kids that are going to be going to the big leagues, because they've been playing 7 days a week since I was 10.
Exactly. It's a huge thing that you have to take into account. I've told Harper, like, we got to kind of figure out if this is going to be your thing, because if it is, we got to jump in travel ball, because if not, when spring rolls around for just the regular season, you will absolutely be behind. Or like the kids who want to play, just play softball or baseball for their high school, they're so far behind the kids who are playing year round for 5 years before they get to high school.
Nuts.
Yeah.
Absolutely nuts.
Okay. Everybody feel good about that topic?
Yeah, I love it.
Yeah.
I don't love it, but I could talk about that for hours, seriously,
It's
because
fascinating.
It really is. And they pay, like, I was talking to a guy the other day, and these kids pay like $5,000. They get 3 unis. They're like,
Oh yeah.
I'm like, what? Like, I used to rock up in shorts and just dick around. These guys are like having big league practices at 10.
Okay. Second topic of our opener that I know Peter will also be excited about
Golly.
is Ryan Zimmerman is retiring after a 16-year career with the Washington Nationals.
Legend. He was the first draft pick, first one pick. Start that again. He was the first guy picked as the Nationals. When they became, when Montreal became the Washington Nationals, he was their first ever draft picked. Then he goes on to just do all kinds of amazing things, including opening day, opening night at Nationals Park in 2008, which happened to be a game that I was pitching in, where he hit a walk-off, which became one of the most viewed videos of all time in Nationals history. And it's on every promo video. So I like to think that we shared a moment in history, Ryan and I. And I've talked to him through other people, actually, a few times about that moment. And I think it's cool to have shared that moment with him. Even though I was on the receiving end of a great moment for him, it was still awesome. Like, it was good to be part of it, honestly.
And, Ryan Zimmerman, like, he was the man. He gets buried in the Harpers and the Sotos and the Strasburgs, the Scherzers. I mean, they've had some big names come through there, but like, he was the guy there. Man. And I think a lot of people might forget just what kind of player he was in those prime years.
And he was a great third baseman before he became a first baseman too. And a great guy. Like, every person that's ever had any kind of interactions with him he's the nicest human being around. But he crushed me a few times.
Yeah, Maddie, can you look up the stats against?
I mean, I've already sent him. I sent him the fucking video. Now you got to show. God, shit. I think
you did this.
I think he smashed me a lot. I think he got me a lot. I think it's like,
it should be good then.
At least 500.
He is the highest OPS of any player that you've pitched against.
All right, guys. Come on, let me hear it.
It's a 500 average. He went 7 for 14.
I knew it.
Only the one homer.
Only the one.
Well, there's that.
There we go. You got him, Pete. He
That's what I'm saying.
Get it out of the park off you. No, sir.
Nope. I think the average exit velo was about 107 too. So it wasn't like he was getting any cheap hits. It was fun to watch.
Dude had 36 home runs in 2017.
There is one player with a better average. Do you know who that is?
How many at bats?
7.
So four for
7, but you struck him out twice. Only extra base hit is a double.
No, I don't. There's too many people I've faced that many times.
Alfonso Soriano.
Alfonso, really? So I think I got him in a couple of big situations. That's why I have good memories against facing him. But isn't that funny how I've blocked out all the ones where he probably did well against me? Nah, he never got a hit off me.
Pujols is 2 for 7, so you're bringing his career average down. So that's
You're one of the ones that dropped him below 300, Pete.
Yeah, I'm sorry. Well, look, if we both play next year, then he's a chance to get back over. Trust me.
All right, before we dive into our college baseball news, we do want to tell you guys about Topps because there were big news out of the sports collectible world. So Topps recently announced that they're going to be auctioning a 1-of-1 Topps 1952 Mickey Mantle card NFT on OpenSea. So that'll be on March 1st at 1 p.m. Eastern. And if you're not familiar with OpenSea, it's an NFT auction platform and people can make bids to win like highly prized NFT collectibles and stuff. So it's like I said, it's a 1-on-1. It's a stunning recreation of the classic Topps baseball card, complete with a video of historical imagery and memorabilia that showcase and celebrate Mickey Mantle's legacy. It's the first featured collectible in the Topps Timeless series. That's a new collection. We've talked about it before. That's celebrating the company's most iconic baseball cards through exclusive premium one-of-one NFT collectibles. The auction kicks off on March 1st at 1 p.m. Eastern. If you're interested, it's going to be live for 3 days, ending at 1 p.m. on March 4th. And any bid placed in the last 10 minutes of the auction will extend the auction by an additional 10 minutes. So I guess this could really go on for a while. But for more information on this historic release, make sure you guys visit topstimeless.com.
And Kelsey, this is the 1952 Mickey Mantle's like known as the prized collection of baseball cards. I'm obviously physical copy compared to NFT, but a PSA 9, not a 10 even. PSA 9 of this specific card sold for $5.2 million recently. So I'm curious to see what this NFT gets up to for Topps.
Dang. Oh, I wonder what the difference is, the drop off in price between like an original card and an NFT.
I'm curious.
But the fact that this is a one-of-one. Whoo! Should we first have you do a quick overview of like quick hitters called like Texas is number one? I mean, just like random.
Sure. Absolutely.
To get Peter, giving him a little bit of information about college baseball.
Thank you.
Absolutely.
And our listeners.
The season starts this week, but conference play, so your ACC, your SEC, Pac-12, Big 12, Big 10, all those guys, the smaller conferences, they don't start until like March or so. So before now, you have it's typically your smaller schools, your out of conference stuff, getting ready, everybody getting in the feel of things. But there are a couple of like really good matchups that happen pretty early on that kind of give you a good look at what the college baseball season is going to look like. Like you said, Texas is number one this year. They are an absolute monster, which, I mean, Texas is a baseball state anyways. All their teams are always pretty good.
Baby. Yeah, we are.
Yeah, but the Longhorns they're a hoss this year.
Have they been good? They haven't been good for a while, right?
Well, they made it to Omaha last year.
They made it to Omaha last year. They would have the way the bracket was set up in Omaha last year, Mississippi State and Texas were on the same side of the bracket. So they actually had to play each other twice before they got to the finals. And had that not happened, I believe Texas would have, or not I believe, Texas definitely would have gotten further than what they did, because those two games between Mississippi State and Texas were some of the best games of the College World Series last year.
Wow.
So
Texas was just a few hits away.
Yeah, I mean, they were really good, and they're going to be really good again this year. They have some guys coming back, like Ivan Melendez, the Hispanic Titanic. He's coming back. He was drafted by the Marlins, but he's coming back for this year.
Do you know what round he went in?
I don't.
Was it like early rounds, or I would imagine not, because I would imagine
it wasn't. There was he dropped for like a little bit further than they expected him, where they expected him to go, because he DH'd primarily last year. He played like 7 games at first base or something like that. So his defense wasn't really, like his numbers weren't really there, but it's because he just didn't really have to practice, you know? So he decided to come back, improve on that stuff. I'm sure he'll be playing first base because Zach Zubia is gone. So he'll be playing first base. Those guys last year was like Omaha or bust. And I mean, they got there. But this year, it's like they got to win it. They got to get to the finals for sure. And they could. They really could. Preseason polls don't mean a lot to me, but they are number one for a reason. And then behind them, you've got like 4 SEC teams. I don't know the exact order, but it's
Arkansas number 2, Vanderbilt number 3, Mississippi State 4, Ole Miss 5.
So they claim me too. The SEC has 8 of the top 25 schools.
Wow.
So
heck yeah, we do.
Exactly. They claim us. We are. I'm so excited for the SEC tournament this year. It was great last year. I'm really excited to go see it again this year.
It's so fun going to that tournament. Oh my gosh.
It's so fun. It's all day. It's like you can go and sit and watch baseball from 8 a.m. till 11 p.m. and like you don't have to leave. It's awesome.
Are there any of those teams that you really like out of those four?
That's probably how I go. I might swap Vandy and Mississippi State and go Arkansas, Mississippi State, Vandy, Ole Miss. Just because Vanderbilt, they're a good team. They are good offensively, but last year, I mean, as we all know, they rode on Jack and Kumar, and they're both gone. Now, they've got Christian Little. He's really good. They've got really good guys. It's just, I think there's going to be a little more fall off than they expect there to be. They're still going to be great, but
Pete?
Yes, Peter.
This is me contributing. Did you guys see the video of Jack Leiter throwing a bullpen today?
No.
I wish I did.
Oh my God.
My
It's just
goodness.
Rangers gear.
Rangers gear.
Stop it. I'm going.
Quadzillas.
Is this the first look we've seen in gear?
This is the first time I've seen him with shorts on, and he looks like he's been squatting the house.
He's always that
Love
boy has
that.
tree trunks.
Check out that video, please.
Oh my gosh, does he like legitimately has tree trunks as legs? That dude's a
Tree
ball and
trunks.
muscle.
Wow.
Thank you.
Oh yeah, he's in the gear. I was
You're welcome.
just thinking how literally yesterday, I was like, wow, we finally get to see Jack Leiter pitch in some minor league games this year.
Yeah.
Because we didn't see anything last year. And I am so excited to see how that translates. What do you think when you think of Mississippi State?
Landon Sims. So last year we saw him as the closer, as the lights out, like absolute monster on the mound. However, last year he also showed us that he was capable of going like multiple innings. So this year we should see Landon move from the bullpen, at least to start. We don't know how long it'll go, but at least to start, he'll be moving from the bullpen to starting.
What I find interesting about that is D1 Baseball has him listed as the number one starting pitcher.
Yeah, the number one starting pitcher, and he's not one, or he hasn't been.
Wow.
Yeah, he's that good. He has the stuff. It's like he's got command. He has poise. Like he just looks good on the mound. He does a good job. But like he was so good last year. He was so good. He was like 5-0 with his record. He had a 1.44 ERA. He had 13 saves. His strikeout to walk ratio was like 100-15 or something. Like he's really, really good. And like I said, he's proven he can go like multiple innings. Now we'll see if he can, stretch that out to what we think of as a starter. I don't know.
Don't fix what isn't broken.
Also that. So we'll see.
I mean, you're not kidding. He did not get a single start the last 2 years. In 2020, he had 7 appearances, no starts. In 2021, 25 appearances, no starts. And he's projected by D1 Baseball to be the top starting pitcher
Yes.
in all of Division I college baseball. That is wild and kind of confusing.
He's got the stuff. It just depends on what they ask of him. I mean, if they only ask for 4 or 5, he can do that. He's done 4. I don't remember how many times it is, but I mean, it's like a handful of times he's gone 4 innings. He probably feels decently comfortable there. Now, stretching that out further than that, I don't know. I guess we'll see. But he's fun to watch. He is fun to watch.
Can you break down what changed with the transfer portal this year?
Okay, so transfer portal, everybody gets that COVID year.
Okay.
Everybody gets an extra year of eligibility for the COVID year.
Okay.
But then for the transfer portal, you no longer have to sit out a year. So you can transfer and you can start playing immediately. You're good to go. So like LSU, Jacob Berry is coming over
to his coach, baby, to Jay Johnson.
Following Jay Johnson. Jacob Berry is one of the best hitters in college baseball.
Didn't he hit like 358 with 17 home runs last year?
It was so ridiculous. It was
something like that.
I think. Well, let me look. No, 352.
That were very specific numbers.
It was 352. I knew there were curves in the number. But Pete, I had to look up. I didn't know like home runs in college baseball is good. And I think the leading person last year had like 28 or 26 home runs, maybe. So 17 home runs is a pretty good.
Yeah, he's a switch hitter too. And he's one of those switch hitters who's like very balanced. Like he's got power from both sides of the plate. His swing's like almost identical from both sides of the plate. He needs like a little defensive development, but I'm sure he'll get that.
Okay, so Stanford should be pretty good this year. Oklahoma State's number 7.
Brock Jones plays for Stanford, and he is a cocky SOB, and it's the best thing to watch.
And that's a guy we could see going in the first round this year too.
Yeah, for sure. He's a two-sport guy up until like this season. So he played football last year at Stanford. He's known since like high school that he was probably going to end up being a baseball guy, but he had a chance to be drafted out of high school. He decided to go to Stanford. He played football. He played baseball this year. He's doing just that. He had 18 home runs last year. He had 14 stolen bases, and his interviews are so fun because I was reading something today and they were like, what is your best asset? Like, we know you're a good hitter, you're good defensively, you're a clubhouse guy. Like, what's your best thing? And he was like, it's my confidence. Like, I just think I can do anything. I'm just really confident.
He does not look like that he would say that. He looks like a very nice, respectable young man.
No way. He's very different from there. Hold on. We have to do an update because Brock has a sleeve and a mustache now.
Oh my gosh.
Okay. So
also he was a safety. I looked it up.
There you go.
So do you want to dive in to the players that you wanted to talk about? We can run through it quickly.
As I say, we've touched on a couple, but it doesn't matter. I want to talk about Sam Highfield. He plays for NC State. NC State, if you don't know, last year during their Omaha bid, they made it to the semis. So when there's 4 left, they had some COVID issues. They ended up being pushed from the tournament, disqualified because they didn't have enough players. And Vanderbilt then went on to advance to the final round where they played Mississippi State and lost. Now,
do you imagine?
Before all that happened, before they left, they played what we call the Pac-13 game. Was the day before they were disqualified.
Please don't confuse me anymore. Is there something called a Pac-13 or is there not something called a Pac-13?
It's a nickname. Okay. They're the Wolfpack. So they had 13 players available for a game, Peter. That's it. 13 pitchers, catchers, ball players, outfielders. They had 13 guys that they could bring on the field, and that's all they had.
I love it.
And this was the second game of what should have been a 3-game series. So the first game, Sam Highfield, he's a pitcher, by the way. So he pitched against Jack Leiter in that first game, outdueled him. NC State won. Second game, the game was supposed to start at 1. At like 12:50, news starts breaking that they don't have enough guys. They've got all these people got to sit out, yada, yada, whatever. Coach goes to Sam's like, hey, I need you to play first base. He pitched the day before. He was like, you got it. No problem. I'm there. They're about to face Kumar Rocker. Sam goes 4 for 3 with 3 singles, 2 of which were off Kumar Rocker. He had 5 college at-bats, none of which were in the 2021 season up until that point, and he went 4 for 3. 2 singles off Kumar Rocker. Like, absolutely came to play. They interviewed him after, and he was like, I'm just willing to do whatever I can to help my team be better. He's just a rider for that team. And if anybody's coming into this season with a chip on their shoulder, it's NC State because of what happened to them last year. And that like fire is going to carry them a long way. And Sam Highfield is going to be really fun to watch the whole time. He's just a really good dude.
Love that they're ranked in the top 10.
Yes, he's really good. And then, so this next guy, I only found him recently. I've never watched him play in game. I've watched video. I've done Cape Cod stuff, but I've never watched him play in game. So I'm very excited to watch him this season. Yeah. It's Trey Dombroski.
Any relation to Dave Dombroski?
I don't know. I didn't dive that deep. Maybe.
Okay.
I mean, it's not like it's Smith or something.
No, you're right.
So he's a junior this year. He maybe changed his life in Cape Cod this summer. He learned everything. He had a 0.85 ERA in Cape Cod, which, I mean, obviously that's a short amount. I think it's like 20 games, not a lot of games, but still, he walked 2 batters all summer. Oh, and fun fact, he has not given up a homer since he was a junior in high school. No big deal.
What was his name?
Trey Dombroski.
And where is he?
Monmouth.
Exactly. Wow.
Exactly. I just happened to stumble across him. So he, like I said, this last summer just absolutely found it. Hopefully it translates and we can see it again in the spring. I really hope so. He got their Pitcher of the Year award. It's some BFC White House Pitcher of the Year. It's the Cape's Pitcher of the Year, who previous winners of that were Chris Sale and Sean Mania. So he's in good company there. I'm very excited to watch him play this year. And I mean, that's a smaller school that you don't hear a lot about, but he got a lot of attention this past summer. Next is Tennessee, Drew Gilbert. Okay, this Tennessee team, they won the SEC tournament last year. They're coming back this year. They're a little more experienced. Tony V is really building. That's the coach at Tennessee. He's really building. Tony Vitello is building a baseball culture up there. They love those games, and they have they have an Aussie on their team. Peter?
Josh Spence.
Yeah. So Drew Gilbert, he is a two-way player for Tennessee. He played in all 68 games last year. He was the only guy on Tennessee to do so, to play in every single game. He has lots of power. If you remember from the College World Series last year, that epic bat flip to the moon walk-off homer, that was him. That was Drew Gilbert. He hit a walk-off grand slam and bat flipped to Jupiter and ran around the bases flexing like he should have. But he's that kind of player. He plays with a lot of motion. He's an absolute firecracker on the mound. I don't remember what game it was, but he was pitching and he hit a guy. Obviously wasn't intentional, whatever. He turns around, screams his head off into his glove, throws the glove down, picks it back up, turns around, walks on the mound, and acts like nothing happened. No big deal. He's just an emotional baseball player. That's all there is to it.
Love that.
He's fun to watch because of that.
We told you about the Blitzball tournament that we just did, warehouse games. It's so much fun. And we were able to do that because of our friends at DraftKings. And NFL season's over, baby. But there's still basketball until we get to baseball. And DraftKings Sportsbook is an official sports betting partner of the NBA. And what they have going on right now is a really, really good deal. So all you have to do, you bet $1 on any team and you get $150 in free bets if that team wins. And we've done reads like this before. It's literally that simple. If the team that you pick wins the game, after you bet it $1 hair, you get $150 in free bet credits. So DraftKings Sportsbook customers, you can also bet on the NBA with single game parlays, and you can combine multiple bets from the single game for a even bigger payout. So the more legs that you add on to that, the more money that you'll be able to win. And as we all know and love, DraftKings is safe, secure, and reliable. Best of all, you can deposit and withdraw your cash whenever you want. So download the DraftKings Sportsbook app now. Use promo code JOMBOY. Bet just $1 on any NBA team and get $150 in free bets if they win. That's promo code JOMBOY at DraftKings Sportsbook, an official sports betting partner of the NBA. Must be 21 and older and physically present in New York. Eligibility restrictions apply. Minimum $5 deposit. See DraftKings.com/sportsbook for full details. Gambling problem? call 1-877-8-HOPE-NY or text HOPE-NY, which is numbers 467369. DraftKings Sportsbook.
I think on Friday there's like 220 games. So if you want to like keep up with college baseball, it's there.
Do you have a college World Series prediction so that we can clip that in 6 months when it's right?
What if I give you, can I give you my semifinalists? Can I give you 4?
That's
Okay.
fair.
Yeah, then just pick 2 to win. That's how it works.
But I don't know who. It could be anybody. Texas, Vanderbilt,
Wow.
NC State,
Oh,
Mississippi State.
Okay, and then who plays who in the final and who wins?
Texas and Mississippi State rematch from last year's semis in the finals, and Texas wins it.
Wow, number 1 ranked all the way through.
yeah.
Rated.
And you said preseason rankings.
Preseason
Same
rankings
thing.
don't mean anything. They really don't. However,
Contradiction.
Boy,
Contradictions.
Just really good.
Texas really is the best.
they are the real deal. Also, I'm a jinx, so Texas fans, I'm sorry.
You're in what?
I'm a jinx. So
Oh, I thought you said you're in jeans. I'm sorry. And I was like, interesting. I do not like denim, but okay. Aussie lingo, baby. Let's hear it.
Okay, choice of 2. No Wuckers or Sanger. I think I've done Sanger before.
I don't remember Sanger.
Okay, Sanger
like that.
or no Wuckers? Sanger. Go.
Sanger. A hammock. He doesn't know what a verb or noun is, so don't ask.
got it. Okay. That could be anything.
Yeah, you just got to
right.
go with the first thing in your mind.
Like a hat, but not like a baseball hat, like a hat, like, like a vibe
Love it.
hat.
Love it.
Yeah.
Like to keep the sun away.
Nice. I like
Yes.
that.
Good guess.
Say the word again.
Sanger.
Love that.
Gonna put my Sanger on. Okay,
Yeah.
Maddie?
Yeah, see, it works.
I'm going to go with
You have the most random guesses. Can't wait for this.
I'm gonna go with a potted plant.
Ostrich toe. No, it's wrong. It's sandwich. I know it should be more exciting than that, but it just means sandwich.
I kind of like the everyday terms though.
Yeah.
You want to meet me for lunch for a Sanger? Yeah, let's go grab a Sanger. Sanger.
Do y'all say sandwich there?
Yeah, I mean, if we're being formal, but
Yeah.
if we're
Oh,
having a conversation.
Oh,
it's-
okay. So that's like,
wow.
Or you can have if you can even on menus, you've seen it written where if you want a steak sandwich, it'll be steak Sanger.
So sandwich is fancy and Sanga is
It's
casual.
not so much fancy. It's just we like to shorten and abbreviate every single word.
Yeah,
that we
like I say Sammy for sandwich.
That makes more sense than Sanger.
Sammy,
really.
Frenchy
But
fries, nuggies, tendies. I'm two. Yeah.
I was just going to say, that's what
Mm.
I've been saying. What do you want
Yeah.
to eat, baby?
Yeah. Oh, listen, talk to Casey Lynch about trying to find a restaurant for dinner.
Really?
Or trying to eat a meal with me because I eat so slow. He'll be done with his meal and I'm still taking my salad butts out of my salad because I don't like the butts in salad. Just take up too much ranch, and that ranch belongs on the actual leaves than the water vessels.
there you go.
I got to tell you, Kels.
Alrighty. Braves Ashland on Twitter and on Instagram.
Yes.
She literally, guys, churns out college baseball content, a bunch of content, but like she obviously knows her stuff with college baseball. So like she's a great college baseball resource. She just said she's doing the 40 players, but it might be 6 on day 6. It's not
It's
a player
fine.
day.
You'll get them. They just might not be
Yeah.
one a day.
But like seriously, you just worked a full day. So thank you so much for coming on here. I hope you can
Absolutely.
go
Thanks for having me.
eat dinner and relax after a hard day work.
Thank you guys for having me.
College ball starting this week. Maybe I'll be keeping y'all posted on it from today. Maybe Ashland will come back on. Peter knows the Australians in college baseball. Thank you guys so much for
of them.
watching and or listening. We appreciate you. We'll see you next Wednesday. Farm on. often.